Alright, so after some time, still working on the body panel here, obviously. And this section here that I just cut out was obviously rotted through right here, and it looks like it got hit at some point as well, and somebody covered it up with some Bondo here. So when I was cutting it, it came out. Actually, I cut it just at the end of the Bondo. That way my new body panel wouldn't have any repairs or anything like that, and Bondo can let moisture in and get rust. But after I cut it out, of course I found more rust, which is not uncommon. So I got some right here. This looks like a surface rust, so I might not cut it out, or I might just cut it out so I can fabricate a new piece of metal so I don't have a hole here, so it won't rust as easily. Yep, and this panel here, I'll talk to you in a minute about these spot weld holes. But this panel here, I'm probably going to cut out, fabricate a new one. So when I cut it, I'll probably cut it across here, come across here, and then of course there's more rust here. So I'm going to cut it up here too and fabricate this and bend the L shapes on both sides so I can weld it in. Alright, progress so far. Let's see, I got rid of all the rust when I cut the taillight section out. This one here. When I cut it out, I found more rust back here. I think I recorded that, but I'm not sure. But I found more rust back here. This panel back here was completely rusted out, so I fabricated a new one, welded it in. Same thing with this, completely rusted out. And fabricated a new one, welded it in. Started shaping it a little bit, just enough to start fitting the new taillight section. I also found this panel was rusted out as well. There was a big hole right here, so I went ahead and cut it out to good metal, and then fabricated this new piece here. Had a L-shaped bend here and here, and then I just welded this plate down with this one here right here. So when I grind it down, it should come out nice and smooth. I'm pretty happy with the way those welds turned out, except for a couple of them are a little high, but most of them are good penetration and real low, and just pretty much a perfect weld, which this is my first time doing this, so I'm pretty happy with that. These down here, not so much, but I'll just grind them down, and this is going to be covered by a little piece of metal. Like I said, I shaped it just a little bit down here so I could test fit this. Still need to actually bend it down a little bit more because it's not sitting flush down here. And yeah, once I get this in, all this because of the lower valence I wanted to replace. Go figure. But once I get this in, I'll go ahead and start putting in the new valence. There's not any rust surface or through rust on my supports, which is awesome. There's just some surface rust. I was able to grind it off. I'm gonna have to shape these up a little bit before I put my new valence on. Of course, you have to shape them to the valence, so that's fine. And then that'll be the back end done, and the rest is all the front end, which I'm sure is going to be just as fun. Alright, I think I'm done for today. But so let me show you. I got the taillight panel on. I also got these ground down. There's a little bit of overspray from the primer. I put it on the inside. But pretty smooth. I'm really happy with it. Especially for my first attempt at body work. Actually, this one's like, I don't even think this one's going to need Bondo right here. This part will, but use some body filler and smooth it out before I paint it, obviously, before I prime it. Here's the inside. It's not bad. I don't think I'm going to clean up the welds or grind them down or anything, because the gas tank goes there, so you can't see them anyway. But there's no holes, they look good, everything's sealed, and rust free. So that's always a plus, especially considering what it was before. But it's a long process, but it was well worth it, I think.